Hey kids, welcome back to our series Battle Zone, where we're looking at all the biggest battles in the Bible. We are continuing to learn what it takes to win a victory in life's toughest battles. How many of you enjoy singing songs and worshiping God? What are some of your favorite songs to sing to God? Now, you're probably wondering, what does worship have to do with winning a battle? Well, I'm glad you asked. Worship has a lot to do with the battle we are learning about today. Before we get into our lesson though, I want you to check out this video.
Man, this thing is so cold.
Yeah, but it is so good though.
You gotta be careful. You know what happens when you eat popsicles too fast.
What? I have no idea. Ow! Ow!
I told you, brain freeze will get you every time.
Wait, hold on. Okay, it's gone. It's time!
Hey guys, I'm getting suited up for the battle zone.
Last time, my brother took the victory. That is not happening today.
I plan to get another victory, because this time, I brought a secret weapon. See you in the battle zone.
You boys ready? Set.
Last time, I found a strategic spot. I thought it was gonna help me win. This time, I'm just looking to seek and destroy. What is Matt doing? I can clearly see him. Does he think he's camouflaged?
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Is he singing? Is he singing worship songs?
I won. I won.
Wait a minute, that's not fair. You distracted me with your singing.
It wasn't a distraction, it was a tactic, just like the army in the Bible. I won that battle with worship.
What? I've never heard that story in my life.
Well, the kids are gonna learn all about it in their lesson today. It's pretty awesome and clearly a winning strategy in the battle zone.
Hey boys, come in and eat. I made some shrimp goulash.
Shrimp goo what?
I don't know about you, but that does not sound appetizing.
Even though you never would have thought of worship as an important part of battle, it really is. We should worship God, not only after the battle is won, but also before and during the battle. After all, God is worthy of our worship, no matter what. But sometimes worship can actually be the way we win the battle. You're going to learn all about that in your lesson today. But right now, you need to learn what you gotta know.
What's happening, you crazy cats. It's me, Disco Dave, and I'm here to tell you what you gotta know. Today, we're learning about how when we're in a battle, we can worship our way to victory. Several times today, you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know. You tell them, when I'm in a battle, I will worship the Lord. That's right. When you're facing a battle, you better worship the Lord. Praising the Lord, praising the Lord, praising the Lord. That song was out of sight. But it don't have to be like that. When you're facing a hard time, you just have to remember God's power and promises and then thank Him by worshiping. Several times today, you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know. You tell them, when I'm in a battle, I will worship the Lord. All right, kids, that right there is what you gotta know. Well, I'm Disco Dave saying, Dynamite!
Today's Bible story is really amazing. It's found in 2 Chronicles chapter 20. King Jehoshaphat was the king of Israel. He received a message that there were 3 different armies that were coming to make war against them. The Moabites, the Ammonites, and the Meunites. 3 different armies were coming to attack. They were really outnumbered. It seemed impossible for them to win the battle. King Jehoshaphat led the entire nation of Israel in fasting and prayer to ask God for help. God told them that they didn't have to fight. God told them that the battle wasn't theirs. It was His. You see, God is amazing. His power is amazing. He can fight for us when there is no way for us to win the battle on our own. Next, the Israelites got together and marched towards the place where the 3 armies were camped. And do you know who they put at the front of the marching line? It wasn't the swordsmen. It wasn't the cannon launchers. It wasn't the tanks. They put the worship choir out in front. They knew that God was going to fight the battle for them. So they put their worshipers out front and began to worship God, for they knew what He was about to do. God caused the 3 armies to become confused, and they began to fight each other. The Ammonites fought against the Moabites, and the Moabites fought against the Meunites. Isn't that crazy? They were supposed to fight against Israel. Now they were fighting each other. When the children of Israel came over the mountain to the place that overlooked where the armies were camped, all they saw were the bodies of all 3 armies lying dead on the ground. Every single one of them. When they saw all this, they began to celebrate and worship God even more. They knew that God had won their battle for them. What an amazing story. And the story leads to exactly what you are going to learn today. You're going to learn that when you're in a battle and don't know what to do, lift your hands and worship God. He will fight for you. But before we get into that lesson, let's hear today's power verse.
Voila! Hello, boys and girls. Once again, this is I, Presto Changeo, the world's greatest prestidigit.
Magic guy, you get it? Well, once again, I am here to boggle your mind and tickle your senses with today's power verse. Today's power verse says, "Do not be afraid. Don't be discouraged by this mighty army, for the battle is not yours, but God's." 2 Chronicles 20:15. Oh, what an amazing power verse! But just like any real magic guy, I like to make things disappear with the help of my handy-dandy sidekick, Hokey.
My name is Hocus Pocus. Come on, man!
You're doing this. You need to be doing this. Okay? Alright, here we go. Ready? Ah, yes. Now, which words should I make disappear? How about this one? And this one? Yes! Now, boys and girls, you shall all say the power verse with Hokey.
It's Hocus!
Whatever, man. Come on, work with me here. Alright, everyone on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Do not be afraid. Don't be discouraged by this mighty army, for the battle is not yours, but God's. 2 Chronicles 20:15.
Oh, that was astonishing! But now prepare to be more astonishing. I'm going to now make even more words vanish before your eyes. Like this one. And this one. Ha ha! Now, let's just see how well you kids remember it. Say it with me now on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3!
Do not be afraid. Don't be discouraged by this mighty army, for the battle is not yours, but God's. 2 Chronicles 20:15.
Good job! Now for my greatest trick ever!
Not really.
You watch it, buddy. You are this close to being stuffed into an oven mitt. Anyway, boys and girls, it is now time for my greatest trick. I shall make myself disappear. This is Presto Changeo saying, now you see me, now you don't. Ha ha! On the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3! Hickle, dickle, pickle, snickle!
Have you ever been in a situation that seemed unfair? Have you ever felt like you were facing a problem so big that it seemed like you were completely outnumbered? Maybe your mom and dad lost their job and your family didn't know where they're going to get the money to pay the bills. Then all of a sudden your mom got sick and there were doctor's bills. Then your little sister got hurt. You felt totally outnumbered, just like King Jehoshaphat did in our Bible story today. Well, we learned that King Jehoshaphat had a choice to make. He could choose to freak out and worry about what was going on and what he was going to do, or he could make a better choice. And he made the better choice. It's the same choice we should make when we're facing an impossible situation. We should remember God's power. King Jehoshaphat didn't whine and cry about how hard the situation was. He looked to God and prayed, "O Lord, God of our ancestors, you alone are the God who is in the heavens. You are the ruler of the kingdoms of the earth. You are powerful and mighty, and no one can stand against you." Do you know what Jehoshaphat was doing? He was remembering that God has more power than his enemy. Way more power. That's what you need to do. When you face sickness, remember God's power over sickness. When you face temptation, remember God's power over temptation. When you face sadness, remember God's power to give you joy. Remember God's power. That's what we need to do. King Jehoshaphat prayed even more. He prayed, "O our God, did you not drive out those who lived in this land when your people arrived? And did you not give this land forever to the descendants of your friend Abraham?" What's he doing? The same thing we should do. King Jehoshaphat was remembering God's promises that he made to his people, the Israelites. We can do the same thing. God has promised many things to us in his word, the Bible. When you're sick, remember God's promises to heal you. When you're lonely, remember God's promise to never leave you. When you're weak, remember God's promise to be your strength. God's promises are true. He has never broken a promise. We can count on him to always come through when he promises something. And that's what Jehoshaphat knew. He remembered God's promises. But what he did next was totally amazing. King Jehoshaphat told the singers, the choir members, to walk ahead of the army, singing to the Lord and praising him. Can you believe that? He put the choir out in front. Not the soldiers, not the fighters, the choir. They sang and sang and sang praises to God. They worshiped him. Why? Because they knew he was the only one who could bring them the victory. And that's what we need to do. After we remember God's power, after we remember God's promises, we need to worship. You wouldn't think that singing and worshiping God could actually do anything to win a battle. But remember, the moment they started singing and worshiping God, the Lord caused the armies of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir to start fighting amongst themselves. By the time the Israelites got to the place where the battle was supposed to take place, the battle was over and the enemies were dead. That's the power of worship. You and I can have the exact same result. When we're in a battle, all we have to do is begin to praise and worship the one who can win the battle. God will bring victory even in the midst of our worship, as long as we remember that he is the one who wins the battle. Worship is easy. Today, we're going to end our time together doing exactly what Jehoshaphat and his army did. We're going to worship. If you are in a battle today, this week, you can worship the one who can win the battle, God. Let's worship with all of our heart. Let's end today with a couple of worship songs. I hope you have a great week. Hope to see you next week.
You
It's an open heaven you're releasing, and we will never be denied. 'Cause we're stirring up deep, deep wells. We're stirring up deep, deep waters. We're gonna dance in the river. Dance in the river. 'Cause we're stirring up deep, deep wells. We're stirring up deep, deep waters. They're gonna jump in the river. Jump in the river. Deep cries out to deep cries out to deep cries out to deep cries out to. We cry out to you, Jesus. I've got a river of living water, a fountain that never will run dry. It's an open heaven you're releasing, and we will never be denied. 'Cause we're stirring up deep, deep wells. We're stirring up deep, deep waters. We're gonna dance in the river. Dance in the river. 'Cause we're stirring up deep, deep wells. We're stirring up deep, deep waters. We're gonna jump in the river. Jump in the. Everybody sing it out. Deep cries out to deep cries out to deep cries out to deep cries out to. We cry out to you, Jesus. Deep cries out to deep cries out to deep cries out to deep cries out to. We cry out to you, Jesus. We're falling into deeper waters, calling after you. We're walking into deeper waters, going after you. Everybody clap your hands. If he goes to the left, then we'll go